What is up, you guys? Scream 7 is coming up really quickly, so I wanted to give you guys my rankings of the 6 Scream movies leading up to Scream 7. Even though there are a lot of controversies behind the scenes with Scream 7, which I totally understand everyone's sides upon. If you're against seeing Scream 7, totally understand. If you're wanting to see Scream 7, totally understand. But regardless of all the controversies going on, I'm still excited for Scream 7, even though I fully support Melissa Barrera. I'm so sorry I butchered that name. But, I love seeing the movies that she's in, and I'm always going to see the movies that she's in. But I'm very excited for Scream 7 because I love the Scream franchise. It's one of my favorite horror movie franchises of all time. So I wanted to rank all 6 of the Scream movies because I rewatched them all leading up to Scream 7, leading to this moment to rank them for you guys and give you guys my thoughts on every Scream movie leading up to Scream 7. So let's do that. In 6th place. So in 6th place, my least favorite Scream movie, I'm going with Scream 3 with an overall score for me of a 51 out of 100. This movie is definitely the worst of the franchise. I don't think there's going to be anything worse than this. Could Scream 7 be worse? I don't know. We'll see. But with Scream 3, it's just so boring. Like, I don't care for anything going on within this movie. The only thing saving this movie is Gale and Dewey's relationship. I love Gale and Dewey together. And they were a couple in real life before they unfortunately got divorced. But seeing this movie, it was such like the highest romancing sequence within the whole franchise was their relationship in this. I love them together. They were so cute together. But I feel like the LA setting for this movie doesn't do anything. I don't really care for it. They don't embrace the LA setting. I think the voice changer is really cool concept, but they don't do anything with it except the opening sequence when they kill off Cotton Weary, which is cool. That whole opening was decent, but for me, it was probably one of the most boring intros to a Scream movie. Which the Scream intros are meant to be extremely like eye attentioning. Oh my gosh, this is insane, and then you get the movie. It's Scream 6, or not Scream 6, Scream 3, which is kind of eh, it's cool, but that's really honestly the highest part of the movie is when they use the voice changer in the beginning. And then I think that the whole middle chunk of the movie is kind of just bland and boring nonsense that's not really cool, except you get the guy from Soren and Cusco, or Kronk. He's in this. That's really interesting, but dies right away. Patrick Dempsey's in this movie, and he's the only time he's in the franchise, and I think he's such a cool character. I just wish we got to continue to see him. I liked how in this movie it's the only Scream movie where there's one killer. I think that's pretty cool. In 5th place. Coming in 5th place, this might be extremely controversial, and some of you guys might turn off the video here, but I'm going with Scream 6. With an overall score for me of a 74 out of 100. Now, I don't think I reviewed Scream 6 on this channel, but when I first watched this in theaters, I absolutely loved it. It was probably my second favorite movie of the Scream universe. I adored it. So cool. I was like, this is awesome. This is epic. Love it. Then I rewatched it for the first time since I saw it in theaters. Like, I haven't touched it since 2023. And it just didn't hit as hard. Like, I don't know. I think, obviously way better than Scream 3. It's a 74 out of 100. That's still a great score. That's 1 point away from being an 8 out of 10 for me. But I do have problems with it. I do think that there are a little slow moments within this. I do really like the New York aesthetic. I think that's awesome. The opening is just definitely different. It's unique, and I think that was really cool. I think the killer's motive and the killer's who they are was kind of predictable. Maybe not the motive, but it was kind of just like, okay, whatever. I don't care. I just didn't really care for the motive. I didn't really care for the who they were. But I did like how we get Kirby back. I did like how we have this New York aesthetic, and it's definitely way different from the LA aesthetic. It feels more like they're actually like adapting the New York setting. Like, I think the best moment within this movie is definitely the subway sequence. That was probably the coolest scene within the film. I just wish we had more sequences that felt like that subway sequence, because a lot of the film just felt like, all right, we're just in a Scream movie. Not really, no, because Scream movies are awesome, but we're just like in a horror movie, generic horror movie, subway sequence, few meta jokes, back to horror movie. And I think that's also the problem with this movie is it feels the less meta. Like out of all the Scream movies, there's always jokes about horror movies. There's always jokes about movies. But this movie just feels like it's the least meta movie. Like it feels like it's the least like it acknowledges that it's in a horror movie. This movie just acknowledges that it is a horror movie. Like it just feels like a generic horror movie. It doesn't feel like it's a Scream movie. For when I rewatched it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just wasn't having a good day when I rewatched it. But as of right now, I don't really care for it. I still like it. I still enjoy it. Would I ever pick this as my Scream movie to watch anymore? Probably not. But at one time, this was awesome for me. I did absolutely love it. I just don't love it as much as I did. Number 4. Cookie Break. Okay, so in 4th place, I'm going with Scream 4 with an overall score for me of a 77 out of 100. For me, Scream 4 is the most, like, ambitious Scream movie, I feel. And I think this movie actually is so super interesting and has the best conclusion to any Scream movie. Like this has the best like last 20 minutes to any Scream movie ever. I think the killer in this, the motivation for the killers in this are so awesome. Like they actually really give such an interesting approach to who this person is because this is also the most shocking. Like out of any Scream movie, this is definitely the most shocking reveal of who they are. I will say I don't care for the glossiness that this movie has. I understand that Wes Craven was trying to go for a remake like effect because obviously this is a meta movie, you know, like it's saying like, hey, this is remake, especially the intro sequence. That was really interesting to watch. I don't really care for the whole like glossy like camera lens. I absolutely loved Kirby and the one guy who ended up being the killer. That really made me upset because they were my favorite couple out of any of the I guess love stories that this movie had or that this franchise has. Besides Dewey and Gale, they were one of my favorites. I absolutely love them together. But I think this movie was super cool. This movie is awesome when it comes to the ending, but it's that first half and leading up to that like ending is just kind of a little slow. And not saying it's a slow burn, it's just meh. Like I don't really care for a lot of the things happening. Like similar to Scream 6, there's just like meh moments until we get something really awesome, something really cool, and has one of the best endings. I give the ending a 10 out of 10. Like out of like the overall ratings that I give, the ending's a 10 out of 10. This ending to this movie is fantastic. But it's a 77 overall because of the intro, the way it sets up. I don't really care for it up until we get to like the really interesting sequences. And the glossy filter. If they got rid of that glossy filter, I kept getting distracted by it. I'm sorry, but this probably would have been my favorite Scream movie. In 3rd place. So in 3rd place, I'm going with Scream. Is that what we're calling this? Scream 5. 2022 Scream, you know, the jump back into the Scream franchise. In Scream 2022, I remember watching it for the first time and I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. But watching this again, this is the most meta movie ever. Like, this is the most meta Scream movie, most meta movie I've ever watched. And I absolutely think this is really fun. Oh, sorry, overall score of a 78 out of 100. I think this movie is super funny. It has some of the most enjoyable characters out of anything. It has new characters. It has old characters. And I absolutely love how they merged them together. And it goes from the old movies to the new movies. And I think that's a really fun, like, switch to this new characters. I absolutely hate how we're never going to get, like, these characters continued because, you know, Scream 6 is unfortunately the ending for the Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega storyline in the Fab Four. Or not is that what they're called? The Fab Four? I don't know. The 4 people that they're called. But I think Scream 5 was actually really entertaining, really enjoyable, and for me had the best cast. Like I think the cast within this movie, the group of characters was such a fun dynamic. Like it was awesome. And I think the killer is again predictable. Not surprised by it, but they're fun. These are the most wackiest killers since like obviously Stu and Billy from the first movie. These are the most insane wacky killers. I think it's a really fun time. In 2nd place. In second place, I'm going with Scream 2 with a 79 out of 100. Scream 2 is such a fun time. It's obviously the sequel to the first film, and it takes place on college campus where they're all going to college now. And I love seeing the return of some of the characters that we grew in love from the first film, and with a bunch of new characters. Like, I love Gale Weathers' new cameraman. He was such a funny time within this movie. And this film has an awesome opening. I think the opening sequence is probably the most memorable part of the film, and this film has the most, I would say, feeling that the first film has. Like, it has that feeling with like the ominous tone, but also just a bunch of like a movie that, I don't know, there's something about the Scream movie that feels very Halloweenish, but like fallish, that feels like you're with a group of friends and like you're just like trying to like have a chill time, but there's like a mystery brewing, similar to like Scooby-Doo in a weird way, I guess. There's a little bit of that feeling within Scream 2 as well, and I give all that my credit to that for Wes Craven. I think Wes Craven does a great job directing this film and getting into like the reveal of who the killers are. I think that was great. Didn't see that one coming at all. Also, the motive of the one killer, especially, which, spoiler alert for Scream 2, Billy's mom, was awesome. And the fact that no one knew who that Billy's mom was. And when you realize Billy's mom and Sydney never met within Scream 2 at all, there's no point when they met, because no one knows who Billy's mom is. Like, they're just like, who is this random lady? And then by the ending, she goes like, Billy's mom, Billy Loomis's mom, Mrs. Loomis, and then it's like, oh yeah, she got like a liposuction. She's completely different now. They never met, and you realize that, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. It's a really fun motivation because she wants to get revenge for her son. I think that was awesome. I love Scream 2. It's a really fun time. First place. But come on now, we all know what number one is. It's obviously the first Scream movie, one of the best horror movies of all time, a 95 out of 100. This film is super just awesome. Like, it's so cool. It's somehow a comedy horror movie that knows it's a horror movie, but also knows it's a meta movie, and I think that's great. Redefined the horror genre as we know it. I absolutely love everything about this film. I could rewatch this movie over and over and still find new things that I enjoy about it, new things that I love about it. The opening sequence redefined how we look at movie openings for generations. And the reveal of it being two killers was something so like mind-blowing at the time, and still is looked back at like, oh my gosh, you can have two like villains be one technically person, right? I think that was really cool how there's one like ghost face identity split into between two people, Billy and Stu. Obviously, those are the best ghost face, hands down, because they are just iconic characters, Billy and Stu, and it being Matthew Lillard, crazy guy. So yeah, Scream 1, one of the best horror movies of all time. It's definitely in my top 5 horror movies. I believe so. It's not in the top 3, I don't think, but definitely top 5. And I'm super excited for where the Scream franchise is going to take us a little bit. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. There hasn't been a lot of promotions for Scream 7, but we'll see on February, 27th, whatever it is, Scream 7 comes out. So I'll give you guys my thoughts when I see that, but this has been my Scream movies ranked, my Scream franchise ranked. What do you guys think of this? Do you want more franchises ranked? Let me know in the comments below. I was thinking about doing it for Star Wars before Mandalorian. Let me know. Well, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you like it. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see future videos like this, make sure you want to the description down below. With all that being said, moving it out. Peace.